So Chad's in here doing a seminar this weekend, doing some open guard, and since he's here, I get a lot of questions on triangles and how to do them and how to finish them. And then you guys recording too? Yeah. That's Thomas, hey, right there. That's the guy.
I'm the guy filming the behind the scenes stuff.
On Fridays when you see me like hanging on the guy's takedowns, that's him.
I tried to take it out 10 times. It's probably the worst takedown I've ever seen.
I gave him a purple belt just sort of honorary. It's not even a real purple belt. We just give it to him because we feel bad for him. He's been trained so long. But Chad's here today, so we're going to show you guys some triangles. I'm going to show it from two different, or we're going to show it from two different angles. We're going to show it both from the tall, lanky. Chad's very slender. He's got really long legs and spidery legs, and so he'll show some of the ways he finishes the triangle. And then I'm going to show the way that I finish it, being a little bit not short, but a little bit shorter, a little bit stockier with thicker legs. And we'll give you some sort of details. So if you're a taller person, or if you're a little bit shorter, maybe thicker legs, you can finish it. And today we're going to triangle our good friend Chris. All right, guys, so I'm not going to go into the setups. We're just going to talk about the finish. So one of the things that happens, I know a lot of times this was true with me, and a lot of you guys that are a little bit thicker legged or a little bit shorter legged, it's really hard to get that full depth. And that's why we're using Chris right now, because Chris has got decent sized shoulders, pretty solid thick neck, and it's really hard for me to actually get that full depth. I can sometimes get it if I'm really off at an angle, but even then, I cannot get that full, like, behind the knee depth that a lot of people are always looking for. But just because that's the case, it doesn't mean you can't finish the triangle, okay? So if you're a smaller guy, or you got shorter legs, thicker legs, whatever it might be, and you can't get the full depth, here's the way that I try to finish it. First off, obviously we're gonna make sure that arms are crossed, because again, we wanna have the hamstring against the carotid, and we wanna have that shoulder here. Next thing that I like to do, and I actually picked this up from one of my guys, is I try to cover the shoulder here. So instead of being out like this here, that's kind of, it's okay. I like to think about shaving this thigh right over top of that shoulder. Now, at the same time, this leg needs to be straight across the back. One of the mistakes I see a lot of times is guys like, they'll just lock up like this, and you can see that space. We want to take this leg and be like down like a hammer, and then from here when I lock, I keep the foot up. Do not lock on the feet, okay? Lock on the ankle. Now from here, here's the trick that I like to use, is simply just kick the heel out, use your hamstring to curl, boom. And so what that's doing is, whether I'm locking on my shin or whatever, I'm here and here, okay? And it's creating the sort of removal of the space to finish. So one more time on that. So if you're a little bit shorter, you get your setup here, okay? However you set it up, make sure that we're getting the leg across, arms across, all that stuff's going on. Make sure the leg is straight across the back of the neck, and when you lock, it doesn't have to be full depth across the knee. We can just come in, and again, pinch everything together, pulling the head down, and then curl in, and at the same time, notice I'm covering the shoulder right there, okay? So that'll be a couple tips for you guys that are a little bit shorter leg. And if you don't feel like you can't finish the triangle because you can't get that full depth, that's not necessarily true. You can still get that lock that way and make it work. And then Chad's gonna show some stuff, so if you're a little bit longer leg, you can do it the way that he does it.
Cool. So when I'm getting into the triangle, we'll go over a few different ways that I like to finish it. So just a basic push-pull. When I'm finishing the triangle, we're gonna finish it two different ways. If I'm straight on with the person, what I'm gonna do is lift my hips into the choke, and I'm gonna pull the person's head down. All right, so if I can't create my angle, what I'm gonna do is pull his head down and lift my hips, and it makes it a really tight choke. Right, now, if I can cut my angle, you can see clearly that I'm biting down right on the person's neck. If I'm here, I'm biting down on his shoulder, so I have to grab the person's head to be able to finish that choke. But if I create my angle here and I lock my feet, I'm gonna take my toe, point it towards the floor, and kind of angle. And now I don't have to pull his head. I can control his arm, I can control his leg, I can control my knee, which is what I like to do. And now when we press down, we're pressing directly on the person's neck, compared to here, you're pressing on his shoulder. And then Chewy mentioned this a little bit. I wanna go over top of the person's shoulder, because if I leave that shoulder poking through, the person's gonna do this almost instantly, and then you miss it. So I push that shoulder, now I have control. Now I'm gonna hug my knee, his arm, whatever I can, his head, if you like doing that, press down. But again, if we're straight on with the person, I'm gonna lift my hips. I don't care if he has this or not, I'm just gonna grab his head, pull. It's a really nasty choke. And it doesn't matter what size he is. You know, I'm just gonna adjust my legs to the size of his shoulders here. So if he's really big and all I can do is cross my feet, I'm just gonna turn my legs to the side as I get my angle here. Nice. All right, so I can adjust this triangle to the size of the person's shoulder there. So if I'm just barely hanging on by my toes, as long as I turn and I curl my legs down, I can still finish that triangle choke.
So thanks Dukes for being the uke on this one and getting choked over and over again for 4 or 5 minutes. And guys, if you want to train with Chad, obviously a lot of you guys have seen Chad in the videos with me. If you want to train with Chad, where are you at right now?
I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at Guardian. So there's 2 different Guardians. I always tell people, and then they'll go into the one in Lebanon. There's one in Lebanon, and there's one in Murfreesboro. And I'm in the one in Murfreesboro.
Cool, and guys, if you haven't already done so, if you guys are trying to get your guard game in check and you want like some open guard tips, triangles, he's got one of the best guard games that I've ever been around, some of the best triangles around. Check out his channel, Chad the Beast Hardy. Check out his stuff, and hope you guys enjoyed the triangle tips. Talk to you guys next time.